What's up everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're going to review the football midweek update here. We have a new skill. It is the Magnetic Feet Showtime skill here in a Showtime pack with 3 players. We got Jude Bellingham, Pedri and Pedri Eze. As you can see, all of them have this new skill. So what is this new skill? What does it do? We're gonna see. I'm gonna go in the details here. You can see at the bottom of the screen here, it says when in possession of the ball, increases the player's ability to keep it based on the number of opponents within 5 meters for opponent's max. Wow, so what does that mean? I'm guessing it means that when you have the ball and you have one of those players with this Showtime skill, if you have a lot of other players around him, then he's going to be able to keep the ball somehow. This sounds very strange. It sounds like another one of those pay-to-win schemes where you're just going to be able to bully your way through like 3 or 4 opponents while keeping the ball. You just go through them and somehow you're gonna manage to keep the ball. So we'll have to wait and see to see if this is like a cheated skill or not, sort of like the blitz curler completely overpowering everybody. But we're gonna have a look here at the cards, the players who have it. Here we got Jude Bellingham with Visionary Pass and Magnetic Feet here. Box to box, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is really a pretty good card. I really like him. I have him mostly on the bench. I bring him in the second half, and he's one of those all-around box-to-box central midfielder. He can do it all. He can defend, he can attack, and he can definitely hold the midfield. So let's see here, ball protection, booster, second booster. You can give him whatever you want, depending on whether you want him to be more offensive or defensive. When it comes to the skills here, he's got double touch, magnetic feet, long range curler, long range shooting, one-time shot, one-touch pass, through passing, outside curler, visionary pass, and blocker. So you're going to want to give him the skills that midfielders need. That is man marking, interception, and sliding tackle. So that's going to be the first 3 skills here. You're also going to want to give him fighting spirit. And then you're only going to have 1 skill left to, try to give him something. I don't know. It's going to be up to you. I would probably go with something like a weighted pass. Or perhaps, if you want to use him defensively, something like acrobatic clearance. A decent card here for Jude Bellingham, always a good one. So the next one here is Pedri. And Pedri has phenomenal pass instead of the visionary pass like Bellingham. Pedri, more of an orchestrator, as you can see his play style here. And he's not as defensive as Bellingham. He's not as strong as Bellingham, but he's a little bit better in dribbling and passing. But otherwise, he is also a central midfielder. Ball protection here for the first booster. Second booster, probably something like technique or passing to increase his, offensive stat as much as you can. When it comes to the player skills here, he's got double touch, cut behind and turn, soul control, magnetic feet, one touch pass, through passing, outside curler, phenomenal pass, track back, interception. So once again, you want to complete the midfielder skills here. So you're going to need to give him a man marking, and you're also going to need to give him a blocker and sliding tackle. And then, let's see, he's got double touch and soul control. You should give him flip-flap like this. He's going to be able to do the double touch level 3. And then, once again, 1 skill left here, and it's going to depend on what you want. I would probably go with fighting spirit in the midfield. That would help him when he gets a little bit tired. So a decent card here, 2 decent cards. And the next one is going to be Pedri Eze here from Arsenal. And this one has the blitz curler. Let's have a look here. Old player Eze. He can play in the midfield. He can play pretty much everywhere if you give him position tokens. 87 rated. He is decent, but I would say he's not the most skilled attacker. But he's going to be an interesting player, sort of, an offensive mid, but that still has a little bit of, physical ability and almost defensive ability, I would say. He's almost like a central midfielder. Ball protection as his first booster. Second booster, I would go probably for something like technique here. You see his dribbling and ball control, tight possession. It's good, but it's not that high. And if he's going to play as an offensive player, he would need a little more. The player skills here, he's got double touch, cut behind and turn, soul control, magnetic feet, long range curler, blitz curler, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing, and fighting spirit. So the first one that would give him would be one time shot. Then I would go with flip flap also to give him the double touch level 3. Then let's see here. I would probably go with something like a weighted pass. And, perhaps if you're going to use them on the sides, a pinpoint crossing would be useful. And for the last one, well, you could give him a shooting skill, or you could give him, a dribbling skill if you want to try to use him really as like an offensive mid, or perhaps, another passing skill. Obviously, in these packs, there's always one of them that is a little bit, on the downside. He's not as good as the other two. And here, Bellingham and Pedri are going to be definitely the headliners of this pack, with Jude Bellingham being the best card for sure, the highest rated, and also the most complete player out of these three. In terms of player ID, Bellingham, a player that I personally use a lot. Pedri Eze, Pedri is a little bit too weak. Eze, I think he's not going to be agile and quick enough to play as an offensive player. So I would say the only player worth it here is Jude Bellingham. But then if you have already another Bellingham card, I don't think it is necessarily worth it to upgrade to this one, Magnetic Feet, this new skill. I think we're going to have to wait and see. I don't really see, a lot of these skills, they sound like gimmicks. I don't think at this point it is really worth it to pack any player, especially with the smart assist as it is. At this point, you really want to wait until you have some players that are going to be really worth it, like Ankara, Messi, or Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and you want to skip those 150 player packs until we get something much better. So let's see here. We have the player of the week. That's the European Championship one. We got Vinicius here, Romero, Becker, De Jong. Kefren Thuram gets one. Gabriel Jesus. And let's see Fofana here. Let's have a look at this Vinicius card. He's okay, but nothing really that impressive. And Christian Romero here, the one with the booster. Yeah, as it is the case now, these player of the week cards, they're not all that interesting unless you're starting the game and you're trying to get some players to be a little bit competitive. Otherwise, it's not really worth it. You just do the events and you'll get one shot for free. So let's see here, the worldwide player of the week here. We got Andre getting another player of the week card since he got his transfer away from Real Madrid to OL. Now he is getting like a new card every week. Let's see, Yamal also getting a card here. Nothing really extraordinary. Omar Marmoush also getting one. Estevao getting one of these first ones here for Chelsea as a whole player. And let's have a look at Endrick here. Deep lying forward Endrick. Yeah, not all that impressive. Also, I don't recommend these packs unless you're just starting the game. So that is it when it comes to the new players here. There is nothing new in the pack section. And let's see, there is some new events as it is always the case. Let's have a quick look at them. We have here the AI section here, we get the English clubs, and we also have this European Club Championship here. You get 500 eFootball points. You get a chance deal in each one for the Player of the Week packs. And then you have the golden goal here that can get you a random booster. And then you have the English Club event. As usual, 3 skill tokens and 50 eFootball coin. So to recap all this Showtime pack, we got a new skill here. This skill is not all that interesting, I think, and this pack is not all that interesting. Perhaps in the future you will have this skill on a better player and it will be worth it, but I would say at this time, just wait, don't spin for this, wait until you see other people actually spinning and trying it, and wait and see their feedback. But I think at this point, you have to wait until you get these cards that are really worth it, and that is not the case. It's not going to be in these 150 player packs. You gotta wait until you get a 250 player pack, and it's gonna be a little while more, because the last one, well, Ankara Messi, it was not so long ago, and usually Konami, they wait a little bit before they do one of these premium packs. So that is basically it, guys. Don't spin for this. And, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any further update. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends, for sure you gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the